Hi guys. Today we're joined by Zain, who will be doing a Q&A with us. Myself, Jason, and my colleague Dennis.
Hello.
Zain, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so most of you know me already from the channel. I'm Zain. I started this channel with my producer Chris because I wanted to show people my skills, if that's what you want to call them, or what I've learned over the last few years of being a chef and in the Navy, and wanted to show everyone else that cooking is easy and that everyone can do it. So in this video we're going to be doing a Q&A just so people who don't know me as well can maybe get a bit more of an insight into my life and maybe into the things that I would do or wouldn't do and how I would change things. Yeah, so without further ado, see what questions they've got for me.
Fantastic. Should we go straight into it?
Yeah, go straight into it. Let's see what questions you got.
So, just got some general questions about what your motivation was. So why did you decide to become a chef in the first place?
Just a chef in general?
Just a chef in general.
So, when I was at school, I don't know like you guys, I had a careers advisor. So they told me, they got a 15-minute interview and I walked into the room and they said, what do you want to do when you leave? I was like, I don't know. I was 14, 15 at the time, I genuinely didn't have a clue. He then said, so what do you like doing? And I thought back to the weekend before when I'd been cooking a cake with my godmother, and I thought, yeah, cooking, is that a job? And he said, yeah, you can go to chef college. And I said, do you know any? I'd quite like to do that. And he pointed me in the way of Westminster Kingsway College. So ever since I did the year there, then they suggested I join the Navy, and then it's just gone on from there.
Fantastic.
So 5 years in the making, just now, finished.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't expect to be a chef. I didn't even expect to know what I wanted to do, but...
So it was a very sudden development for you?
Yeah, well, I mean, before I walked into that room, I think it was that room with the careers advisor where I thought, you know what, this is what I want to do, and then I sort of moved down the line and it actually happened. But if I hadn't gone into that room and had that conversation, I could well be doing something different.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So the next question is more to do with the food itself.
Okay.
So what is the one ingredient, the single ingredient that you cannot live without?
So if I was to live without it?
Without a single ingredient.
Tricky. It is a tricky question. So it would be easy for me to say something like eggs, because everyone knows I don't like eggs. However, you use eggs in a lot of different things, or bananas. You use eggs in a lot of different things, and I know that as a chef that it's a very vital ingredient, so I'm not going to go down that route. So if I was going to go with an ingredient that I could not live without, I would have to go with steak, because I mean, steak is a favourite meal for so many people across the country. There's so many different things you can do with it. There's always the misconception that you can just steak and chips on Saturday night, but there's so many different things you can do with it, and I think that it's like the way that they breed the animal so that it comes about onto your plate is more special than just the food itself.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know about you guys. What would your ingredient be?
Would go with eggs.
Eggs. You would go with eggs.
Okay.
Do you know how many foods you can do with eggs?
Well, I do know how many foods you can do with eggs. Yeah. There's a lot of food that uses eggs, and I mean, if you take away eggs, there's cakes, pancakes, eggs for breakfast.
Yeah, if you think about it, just came in your mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it just comes straight to your mind. But yeah.
I think for me personally, I think I'll also be looking down that route, thinking about a really crucial ingredient. And for me, I think because I have a sweet tooth, it'd be sugar.
Yeah.
Something that's really important to me is having that sweet taste in your mouth. And
I think a lot of my friends and family, if they're watching this, will be surprised that I didn't say sugar because I eat so much of it.
They're really shocked right now.
Yeah, like they're more surprised I've got a glass of water in front of me and not anyway, yeah.
Okay, that's really interesting. Okay, so you're from England. Yes?
Yeah.
So obviously you've grown up with all sorts of food from England and across the United Kingdom. What would your favourite British dish be?
Favourite British dish?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've probably got two. Ever since I went to basic training in Tor Point in Cornwall, I ate a lot of Cornish pasties. And I mean, before I went there, I'd eat a lot of Cornish pasties at home, like regularly, but you can tell the difference between a shop bought one and a homemade one. So I learned to love Cornish pasties in a different way because of the homemade. So I'd say Cornish pasties up there, but I think it's going to have to be fish and chips, because you can do it in so many different ways with so many different fish. but it's just quintessentially British to have fish and chips. I think,
Absolutely.
yeah, I think if people say let's go and have some British food, I think fish and chips is probably the first thing I think
Would
of.
be the number
So
one
yeah,
thing.
I think that's what I'd go with. How about you guys?
I think like similarly, fish and chips has been
Yeah.
important to me growing up. It would always like be there available for me.
I
to
think
just
the
go and
first thing
get.
you hear about in here when it's the fish and chips.
Yeah, because you're from abroad, right? What do you think
Yeah.
about?
No, the first months I was like, oh, try fish and chips. They're really good, and I was like, okay.
I think it's like one of those things that was like,
I really heard
Yeah.
like it's a national food here.
well, it's like if you go to Italy, people are always on about pizza and pasta.
Yeah.
But if you come here, I think the only thing we've really got is either a Sunday roast or fish and chips. But fish and
Yeah.
chips is really predominant. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think that's what I'll go with.
All right, brilliant. Okay, next question. So obviously, you're a cultured man. You like to go on dates. Many girls, yes.
Maybe not.
Okay.
Probably not.
So like, if you were in a situation where you met someone,
Yeah.
someone new, and you really liked her and you wanted to impress her,
Yeah. I thought it
What?
would be right.
what would you make her? What meal
Um,
would you make for your first date?
Just to put it out there, I don't think I would probably make something on the first date. I think I'd prefer to
Some-
do
with a-
something
with a
or
heart
The second or
shape
third
and
to
date.
go somewhere else.
with the
I'll
heart
let you
shape
stick to
and a
that.
wine.
I'll let you stick to that. No, so I think I'll move the question to if it was for a date.
Okay.
I would probably try and do steak and chips. However, I think that's a bit of a cliche for a date is to do something like that. So I would like to try something new and maybe ask her what she liked,
Yeah.
or something she wanted to try, or maybe try and make it with her.
Very gentle.
So it's I mean, there's a massive misconception that it's just women in the kitchen, which hopefully this channel will change. So
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Break those.
break the
stereotypes.
barriers down. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Great answer. So more specifically, you were talking about steak.
Yeah.
I'd like to know how you would order a steak at a restaurant.
Okay, so this is going to be a really touchy subject for a lot of people, especially the chefs and people from the industry that are watching. I personally would have it rare, for the simple fact that if you have it blue, I think it is slightly too raw. Although I understand why people eat it like that, but on the other end of the scale, if you have it well done, I think that's just it takes all of the flavour and the whole point of the steak out of it. It's just like. It's just dry, it doesn't really taste of anything. I don't see the point, whereas I think a nice juicy steak should be rare. So I would go with rare. I can see why people go down the blue side of it and maybe medium rare, but when it gets to well done, I think that's just stupid.
Yeah.
Personally, I think stupid, unnecessary and pointless. You don't go to a nice fancy restaurant to ask for a burnt steak. I just don't get it.
No, I agree with
I
you.
mean, it's a restaurant. It has a reputation.
Yeah.
Especially if it has a reputation.
Well, exactly, and I know full well that if you order a well done steak at a nice restaurant, bad things are going to happen to your food before it comes out. That's all I'm going to say.
Never know.
Next question. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna change it up a little. Dennis is gonna be asking if you.
Yeah, a more cooking related question.
Yeah, just to test your knowledge a
Okay,
bit.
done.
Test your
Okay.
knowledge, yeah.
So you're gonna be given questions plus 4 options, and you're
I'm
gonna
going to be given options.
You're gonna be given options,
Do
and
I
you're
get
gonna
extra point if I say it without the options?
You can. I mean, if you can. I mean, we can like.
I mean, I do know the questions are. I don't know if
Yeah.
I said that.
So you haven't seen these
Sure.
before, and if you need any help, we can give you the options, and you can guess.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it a points thing? How many questions?
It is. Well,
Just questions or just
just we can ask 5 questions, and
Five.
questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
5 questions. Yeah.
and we'll see how well you do.
Okay.
Okay, brilliant. I'll pass to Dennis now.
Cool. So the first question is, how does adding salt to boiling water affect it?
How does adding salt to
So to boiling water affect it?
it raises
Like
the
the
boiling?
process.
It raises the boiling point, so it boils quicker.
It does increase the boiling point of
Yeah.
water. That is correct.
That is correct. 1 point.
My heart
One
went there.
point.
My heart went there.
1 point.
For the record, I generally don't know these questions. They literally turned up today with the questions,
Yeah.
so I generally don't know them.
So question number 2. Which of these cutting boards is the most sanitary?
Sanitary.
Most sanitary, okay.
Yeah. So we have wood, bamboo, plastic, and 3 of them.
Plastic.
Plastic.
What was it? Wood, bamboo.
Plastic.
Plastic,
You're
right.
Oh,
correct.
did you say
two
wood, bamboo, and
points.
plastic? Is bamboo not
Wood?
really a type of wood?
I mean, I guess
It is
it's
a type
different
of wood,
right?
but it has a low quality.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll go with plastic.
Yeah,
Plastic,
you're right.
It's right anyway. So
Okay, 2 from
question number 3 is, What is meant by blanching a vegetable?
By blanching a vegetable.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you blanch a vegetable, you quickly cook it in boiling water and then take it back out. So you're not thoroughly cooking it the whole way through.
Okay, let's ask the
That's
internet.
fine. And it is firstly boiling it and then freezing it, or putting it in a.
We'll put it into cold water and
That's
then
right.
and then reheat.
3 points out of 5.
Okay.
There we go. Fourth question. Where are you? Where are you?
I want 5 from 5 now.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask
We're
you
not
some
even
random
giving the
questions as well. I'm gonna ask you some random
Okay,
questions.
fourth question. The sauce you are using has become too watery. What is the best way to thicken it?
It's become too watery.
Yeah.
Well, can you put that into context? What kind of sauce?
So would you?
I think you do different things with the sauce.
Yeah. So it would depend. But would you?
The options are add flour or cornstarch, put it in the freezer, add sauce, add butter and olive oil.
Add corn flour.
Okay, we'll
so
check.
A. Let's ask the internet. And the internet, add flour and corn. Yep.
That's correct.
4 out of
Yeah,
5.
I can't believe you put it in the freezer was an answer. But anyway.
Okay, last.
Right. And the last.
Then you just got a sauce that's fucked. But, alright.
Oh, no.
Let's not let that theory.
It's
Let's
just
fucked. So question 5. Which oil is the healthiest to cook with?
Oh, I know this. I
Coconut,
definitely know this.
olive, mushroom or soybean?
Wait, what were the options?
So the questions
Coconut,
olive, mushroom and soybean.
I feel like I'm gonna get this wrong, but I feel like it's coconut.
Coconut.
Ooh.
Internet.
Okay, so I feel like it's soybean.
Okay. So
Even though I thought it was thing, but
That's your final answer?
no, I'm gonna go. I want to say olive, but I feel like you're gonna tell me it's soybean.
Well, we can do it.
I feel like you're gonna tell me it's soybean if I say olive, but I'm just gonna stick and say soybean.
I mean, what would you use the most in most dishes?
Not olive oil.
Not olive oil.
I would use olive oil in most dishes.
Okay.
yeah.
Why do you think they use olive oil? The most in most
I
dishes.
don't
You
actually
can
know.
do 50-50, you can call a friend, you just have to go
If
with
the
it.
cooler friend is you, my friend, I'm not gonna be your friend.
Oh, he does have the answers in front of him.
That's true. No, yeah, okay, so yeah, you would use olive oil in every day, but I mean, I think that's you hinting that it's olive oil, but I wouldn't have thought that. I would have thought it was soybean.
Okay, so you think soybeans?
Soybean.
I think soybean.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we got. It is in fact
olive oil.
olive oil.
I thought you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
Olive oil, 4 out of 5. He's almost perfect.
Almost.
Almost.
Almost perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Almost. Okay.
So we'll get back to the question
Okay.
part of the interview, and then ask you about seasoning and spices.
Okay.
Okay. What is your personal favorite seasoning? Number 1, and then your personal favorite spice. Number 2.
Ooh. I think. Well, before I answer that question, if you buy these already made seasonings from the shop, which people have just amalgamated together, I just think that's wrong.
Yeah.
Firstly, make your own, and because it's lazy, and secondly, these people just put so much random stuff into a pot and then sell it for like £15 and go, this is essential, mountain crafted from the highest goats of God.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's just not a thing.
Just
It's
$1.99.
it's just not a thing, and it's like $7.99 in a glass bottle, and it's just rosemary and salt essentially. And I think I just don't get it. So I would say jerk seasoning because it's been like thought about so much and changed and adapted, but it can be used again in so many different things. So yeah, I'll go with jerk seasoning.
Okay. And then for a spice?
Spice. I think because you can use it in so many different things, it's got a nice colour and stuff. I would go with paprika.
Paprika.
Yeah, you can use it in so many different things.
Oh, brilliant.
So yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Awesome.
So I want to say that you have many idols in cooking.
Oh, definitely,
Yeah, you look up to people, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
You see people on TV who make really good food, and obviously, I'd be inspired.
Yeah.
Who have you been most inspired by? Who is the chef that you admire the
So-
most, and why?
Okay, so I've got two for two different reasons. The first one is probably the chef I admire the most, and although he has recently just been on TV, before that he was not in the limelight, and that is Chef Andrew Durham. I hope he's watching this video. I met him when I went through phase 2 basic training in the Navy. He has turned down promotions so many times just because when you reach a petty officer in the Navy you stop cooking. So he's turned it down countless times because he wants to continue cooking, which shows his passion for it. He's very humble. He doesn't like to shout about what he does. But I mean, I'll put his Instagram in the comments. You can just see what this guy can do. He recently just got knocked out of MasterChef The Professionals. It's unbelievable chef, but he's also like a really good friend and a really good guy.
It's a big plus that he doesn't shout about what he's doing.
Yeah, well, exactly. There's so many people that go around saying I can do this, that, and the other.
Humbling ones are always the best.
Yeah, he literally just doesn't go about anything. He's just a really nice guy as well as a good chef. So he would probably be my idol. But then if you go on to the fame side of things and the people that people would know more, although it's probably a cliche, but it would be Gordon Ramsay. Not just because you hear about him a lot, but because if you read and you understand about him more, you go into his backstory about his life, what he's actually done, where he came from, and he made it, lost it, and made it again. But he actually worked to get where he is now, and it might seem like he goes around making videos and making a lot of money, but he had to get there somehow, and he got there by working hard.
I mean, that's a general thing. If you meet someone and you understand him, you're gonna actually start to understand him.
So obviously not every chef in the world is gonna be like him and just go from to, but he put in so much hard work between, the same time I started, between he was 16 and 20 odd. Like everyone who knows him well knows he pushed for third Michelin star and didn't get it the first time. But him probably because he put in the effort to start with, and now he's reaping the rewards, and he is famous, but because of what he did to work hard for it. So.
What do you think about his approach in the kitchen? It's very loud.
Okay, so there is a massive stereotype there, because having worked in civilian kitchens as well as in the military, I understand why it is like that. And before anyone says it's not actually like that, it is like that. People do get irate, they do get angry. It's because of the pace of the kitchen. There is a very fine margin between making money and losing money, and it's down to getting things out on time, making sure it tastes good. There's so many things you need to do. It's not just about making the dish and sending it out. It needs to be the right temperature. There's so many different things you need to get right. So it gets really irate in the kitchen, and I understand that. I believe it's gone slightly further down the line with Gordon, purely because people started to make a thing of it, and he's just gone along with it. I don't believe he's put it on, because I've seen the kitchens myself, it gets really irate. So I believe that he was in kitchen environments like that. But then again, I believe it also shows the passion that people have inside the kitchen.
I used to watch the show where he goes to restaurants that are losing money.
Yeah.
Did you see the show? And he actually transforms the kitchen nightmares, and it actually transforms that restaurant into like a money producing factory.
Yeah.
So he's pretty good.
But
although he puts too much pressure on the kitchen.
Well, that's the thing. I think that's a fine line, because a lot of people say he does put too much pressure, and then people say he doesn't. But I feel like,
cooking can be relaxing and pressure. It's just two parts. You can enjoy cooking, or you just can make cooking out of
well, exactly, and that's exactly what this channel is about. So when you come onto this channel, for example, you're doing it because you want to do it. You're not a chef, you're just at home making things, and you can do it in your own time.
So
whereas if I was doing this at work, I would have to be a lot quicker, I couldn't take my time as much, and you've got to be precise and get it right. It's my job, I can't mess it up. Whereas if you're at home and you're doing this, or any of the videos I've just done, like the sausage roll thing, if you don't get it right first time, just do it again.
Okay, enough about Gordon Ramsay.
Okay.
This is not
I can talk about all day about him.
So. Because we wanna know more about you. And you were talking about the pace of the kitchen.
Yeah.
In the last question, and I want to know what sort of skills are necessary for a chef. So, what is the single most important skill a chef should have in the kitchen?
So it would be being able to listen. At school, everyone that knows me knows that I didn't listen. I got no qualifications of any kind. So it's definitely just being able to listen. If you can listen and understand, then you'll be successful.
Absolutely. So communication is vital.
Communication is key.
Okay. So we're at the second to last question. Obviously, people who are seeing your channel and seeing you cook, I want to think that they're being inspired to also pick up the plates, pick up the knives, and start making their own
Yeah.
food. So what is the best piece of advice you would give a budding chef who's just started off cooking?
Okay, so first of all, anyone that is watching for that reason, thank you. That's exactly why I'm doing the channel. The number one piece of advice I would give is put your effort into it. No one ever achieved anything by trying and then not becoming famous or not becoming good at it straight away. If you put in the effort, then you will reap the rewards. Like, no one ever gets good at something straight away. That's a miracle. It took me ages to get right the things that I've tried to do. So many things I still get wrong now and I learn from other people. So definitely just try and try and try. If you want to succeed at something, then keep doing it.
That's a great
Yeah.
piece of advice.
Inspiring. I'm inspired.
Yeah. But that's the thing, this is all about saying.
Are you going to see something Dennis is going to make? Is he going to
Yes.
bring in something?
Yeah,
I think
I'm gonna
we
watch
got
your videos. I'm
planned,
gonna watch
yeah.
your
We have got
tutorials.
video planned.
Then
But,
I'll let everyone know if it actually useful.
I mean, just to add on to that, I could sit here and just say a load of lies for the video, but there would be no point in doing that.
No,
This
absolutely.
is genuinely how I feel on the subject.
Brilliant. Okay, we're at the last question.
Okay,
This is
let's go.
a slightly mundane question, kind of eerie,
Okay.
but I think it's an important one. What would your last meal on Earth be? So if you were gonna die, if you were old age and you
that's-
needed to have,
So we're going there. Okay.
We're going there, straight to
We're
the
going
end.
there.
It's went from-
you've left a legacy or you've done all that, you've become famous. What would be your last meal?
Okay, so thankfully we don't have capital punishment. I don't plan on dying anytime soon. But as I said from the start, it definitely have to be steak. That's just
Just steak.
Yeah,
Classic
it's
steak.
just a steak. Yeah.
You
So
have to survive.
if you're gonna die, you're gonna die. It's just
Steak
really
and
bad to
red
be
wine.
honest.
Steak and red
Yeah,
wine.
steak.
If
You're
gonna
happy.
die, you're gonna die. But yeah,
Okay.
steak, rare steak.
Brilliant thing. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
You've
Thank
been
you.
you've been going into so much detail about all these, and we've learned so much from you.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
And thank you for everyone who's watching. Thank you for those who subscribed and liked this video. And peace.
Yeah,
Please.
so click here to subscribe, click here to follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, like the video and share the video, and click the notification bell to get more updates. Thanks for watching this, and I hope you've got a bit more of an insight into the channel and into my life as a chef and from how I became a chef. Thanks for watching and see you next time.
Thank you.